Well, let's get ready to rumble. However, he used to do that. Michael Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble. I am because my two compadres are not here right now. So I am here right now, and they're not. That's right. And I got the music going too. Um, Welcome to Amazing Grace Sports Network. I am Clay Morris, and I am more. Well, looks like somebody's coming on here. Looks like the Magic Man is showing up on the scene here. Here we go.
Good afternoon, team. How are you?
What's up? What's up?
All right, right. We're live and ready to go.
All right, all right. I just came on and I told everybody you were coming. Somebody was
Okay.
coming.
Oh yeah,
Somebody.
no. We have to apologize to our people for that little technical glitch this past our last airing. So
th-
we got
that
we got to
fiasco that happened on Saturday.
yeah, that was well, we had a Microsoft faux pas, so
Yeah,
it
I mean, we're professionals and we handled it as well as we could. There's always, some circumstances that are going to happen. Most times, you guys never know that anything happened because we're able to go right through it and make things go smoothly and according to plan. But the technical difficulties that we had last Saturday kind of just took over, and you couldn't get callers, couldn't get guests on, couldn't get Marlon on, couldn't get any. I mean, the whole thing. But we talked about it. That was that Microsoft glitch, and it knocked all the computers down, all the previous held settings.
yeah. So we gonna try to give them a little something to forget about that one today, right?
Right, we're gonna give them something to forget about
Give
it.
'em a
Now,
little something, something.
well, okay. Listen, I guess I'm saying the prayers here. Unless you want to say the prayer.
You'll go on ahead now because I gotta do two things here. Why are you doing that? I'm sorry.
All
Um,
right, then I'll just
Go ahead.
roll it on, and you tell me when to stop. No,
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah,
no, I'll do it. I do it. I got it. I got it.
yeah.
Father, Lord God, Lord Jesus Christ, Lord Holy Spirit, be with us. Be with us. Be with us in our work here. Be with us in our work outside of Amazing Grace Sports Network. Be with us in our lives. Be with us in our families. Be with us in our families' lives. Bring us to whatever level that we need to come to in order to become better people, better brothers, better fathers, better friends, better neighbors, better people entirely, more patience, more discipline, and more understanding for the things that are ahead of us. Let us work to become more logical and less emotional, and try to not get mad when people cut us off and we're driving and things of that sort. And Father, just work with us, make us, and we're in the process of becoming holy. Help us to become holy. Help us to become better people in every sense of the word. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, amen. All right. So, birthdays. Let's just get on with the birthdays. I'll just start it off. And since you're out there doing whatever you got to do and you just get in where you can, the first guy that I wanted to talk about as far as birthdays goes, Terry Glenn. Terry Glenn. Um,
Did Terry.
yeah, Terry. Terry Glenn. Happy birthday, Terry Glenn. It's a sad story from the beginning. And I don't even know if I want to go into it, but let's just get through it pretty fast because it has nothing to do with the kind of person that he turned out to be. I met him once, and he was really a nice person. His didn't know his father. We are so tired of hearing that story of a person who doesn't know their father. But there it was again, rearing this ugly head. His mother was killed at a young age by another guy that she was seeing at the time. Later on, I think when he was in his in, I don't even think he was 10 yet. And his mother was killed. So he was 13 years old. So then he was shuffled in between relatives. Then he was taken in by friends, um, by a friend who, a man and wife, husband and wife that took him in, and that's they served as his guardians, and that's where his life took off. I mean, I think he was 15 at the time. Um, he goes through he goes to Ohio State, I believe, and is drafted by the Patriots, and he was a heck of a receiver.
Yep, he was. He was drafted by Bill Parcells. Well, not actually, he was drafted by the Patriots, not by Bill Parcells.
Yeah, Parcells actually didn't want him. I think that was the beginning of the end of the relationship, the Patriots and the Bill Parcells relationship.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What I did not like about Bill Parcells is they referred to him as she, and I didn't. That there's a line to be drawn, and I think he commonly crossed the line. With his frustration, kept referring to Terry Glenn as she. I think she'll be ready. Yeah, referring to him that he was soft, and Parcells was a defensive guy.
yeah. Yeah. He was a defensive guy. He was a tough guy. He pushed his plays hard. I don't know if that worked with Terry Glenn. But then again, I don't think it really bothered him because this guy had a outside shell that had been developed for a long time. So I don't know if Parcells did anything internally that would really bother him. But Glenn was a heck of a receiver, but he was always hurt, and he was a small guy.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why he would say, "Oh, I think she'll be ready." But
Right.
listen, as much as Parcells didn't want him, he was a very big part of that team being
He
good
was.
enough. Patriots.
Right. 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 I mean, and that's why, when it comes to celebrating his birthday, I'm right there for it because Terry Glenn was a very important part of that team that went to the Super Bowl.
Very important. Yep.
The
Um,
guy was an unbelievable receiver, and he died in a car accident. I think 2017,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Down in Dallas. Yeah. So
uh, young guy, born in 1974. So he's 25. I think it might be maybe he made 40,
yeah,
and
I think
before he
because
died.
it's 17, so you go back 7 years from that point. In 2017, go back from 7, so maybe 43 years old at the
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Tough life. But Terry Glenn, you're remembered. Rest in peace, and thanks for the memories. God bless
yeah,
you.
absolutely. But
Next on the birthdays, we have another Patriot, Steve Grogan. Um, we can say this, but Steve Grogan, it's a mixed bag with Steve Grogan. Steve was good, but you know, he didn't get much while he was here in New England.
I think Steve is one of my favorites because when I became a Patriot fan back in the early 70s, he was the quarterback. I
Yeah,
thought he had the longest neck. I would always say, like, this
he
little
did.
10 guy.
I don't know how. I don't
But
know how his neck didn't get broken. He had the longest neck for a guy who's like running, taking off and taking on tacklers and taking on linebackers and linemen. Come on, man.
yeah, yeah, he was always my guy. It wasn't Jim Plunkett. It was Steve Grogan for me. So he was there when I became a Patriot fan. He had actually, he had some great years because he had arguably one of the best receiving corps for a couple of years when they had Stanley Morgan and Irving Fryer.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he
Stanley
had
Morgan and Irvin, Stanley Steeman and Irvin was a little terror there for a while. He was good, but you can never tell which one you were gonna get.
yeah, yeah. So for a couple of years, he had a good run, but he had a good team. He had
And he had Sam Cunningham, didn't he? He had Sam Cunningham as his running back.
Yeah, well, he had Tony Collins when they had the glory days. He
Right.
also
And he had Tony
he also
Collins.
yeah. What's the Roger Craig, um, running back? Not Roger Craig.
Not great.
Craig James.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. He was with the guy who broke 2,000 yards down there in SMU.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So he had some offense. He did. Moses Tupu. He had some some good guys.
Yeah, they had
Tony,
some good guys. They had a good team back then, and he gave 110%. Steve
he did.
Brogan did.
He did. He was ultimately dethroned by Tony Eason in that '83 class with the Elways and the Marinos and the Kelly. He had he had uh, a good stretch before Tony Eason came along, and once
Yeah,
Tony Eason was kind of a
but he was
and
hurt. He was hurt by then. When Tony Eason assumed the starting quarterback position, Steve had been broken down pretty well.
yeah, yeah, he
Yeah,
he kind of on the back end, but yeah, still my guy. Yeah, happy
yeah.
birthday.
Guts, hearts and guts. Happy birthday. Today would be his birthday too.
How old
Today
would he
would be
be?
his birthday. Happy birthday. The next guy we got, who else do we have on this one here? Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got Barry Bonds.
Okay, Barry Bonds. Yep, the
Let's
son
get
of Bob.
Barry Bonds up in this thing here. Barry, where are you? There he goes.
Okay, son of Bobby Bonds, and he was the I think that was the first player where you had dad and son playing together.
I don't think they ever played together.
You don't
Did
think
they?
so? I
No, I
think that
don't think so. I
thought
think
they
his father was no longer playing by the time he came up. His father
oh
was Bobby Bonds, and yeah, played for the Giants, same team.
yeah
This is one of these cases where the son turned out to be a much better player than the father.
yeah. Well, the same thing with Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Shut up.
but he had a heck of a career. He was a bona fide All Star, pretty
Right.
much every season, and then everything. I kind of got mixed feelings about the way he kind of went out the door because he had a crappy attitude towards the end.
He did. He did. You know what? Barry Bonds always had a crappy attitude. And this is the thing that really ticked a lot of people off. And a lot of people didn't understand why he got so much ire. It's because he always had a crappy, he was kicked off his college team and the team voted not to let him back on. What-
Yeah, I think that was his biggest thing is his crappy attitude. As far as what he was doing on the field early on,
yeah,
man, he was a fired
yeah,
All Star.
yeah,
I think he
yeah.
was a definite Hall of Famer early on before all the allegations came along. I just yeah, again,
He was. He
it,
was. But he wasn't quite the hitter he was, before the steroid, the cream and the clear. But he was a great hitter. But after whatever he was
after he
taking, I
got
don't know.
over the steroid craze, yeah, he kind of he stepped it up.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! Oh my
So
gosh! You couldn't get a ball past him. It was
yeah,
the strangest thing to watch. I mean, the closest thing that I've ever seen to Barry Bonds at that time would be David Ortiz later. Because there would be a time when David Ortiz was like, you did not want to face David Ortiz at all costs. You'd rather walk a run home or do whatever you had to do. If you had a brain, there were some managers that were so stupid they couldn't get it through their brain what they were facing. But the closest thing I would see to that was I mean Barry Bonds at that particular time, those 2 or 3 years, man, you did not want to.
didn't want to touch Barry Bonds. Right. Correct. Yeah.
No,
So
no, you'd have to
yeah,
be crazy.
yep, those are some great birthdays. Some great guys were born on this. Some great sports birthdays today. So
And we
um,
got a couple more. We got a couple more. Terry Glenn was actually yesterday. But Steve
okay,
Brogan, Barry Bonds. We're gonna just do quick mentions on these two guys because they're not they're known, but they're not New England people known. But so we're gonna do quick mentions on them because these guys they were very integral to the National Football League in the early years. One is Willie Davis,
yep,
Mr. Willie Davis, Green Bay Packers led him to a lot of national. What is it? It wasn't a Super Bowl then, so it's like something else they called it. National
uh,
championship game, I
that,
guess.
well, they still had AFL back then, there, didn't they?
Yeah, they had the NFL. It was the NFL, but the AFL was not. I mean, it was just the NFL. What they called the old NFL was the Eagles, Packers,
Oh,
Chicago,
yeah,
New York. Um, I think Pittsburgh. A lot of those. That was the old NFL before the AFL came in the 1960s, and at that time, the Green Bay Packers ruled the roost, and the captain of the defense on the Green Bay Packers was Willie Davis.
gotcha. Yeah. Well, that's good news there. I mean, good information there.
Yeah, he was that guy. Yeah, he was totally that guy. The next guy on the list we're going to bring up is Bob Lilly. Happy birthday, Bob Lilly. He played for the Dallas Cowboys. Marlon, there you go. Now you're back. Yeah, he played for the Dallas Cowboys. Bob Lilly was a big part of the Dallas Cowboys' doomsday defense with Jethro Pugh, uh, and a couple of other people that they had at that time in the defense. This dude was a big guy. He was tossing people around. They had to double team him the whole time. And because he played for Dallas, he got cheated in money. Yeah, Dallas was cheap back then. They were very cheap. And poor Bob Lilly didn't know how much he was getting underpaid until he went to an all-star game, a pro bowl game as they call it. And he asked, some other people what they were making. And guys that were like half him were making twice as much as he was making. Freaking Dallas. Unbelievable. Well, I'll know and love. Walter Payton.
Oh,
Walter Payton.
gone far too soon. Far too soon.
Yeah.
Sweetness.
I think tomorrow would be his birthday, if I'm correct. I'm not. Let me just check and make sure. Walter Payton. It would be 7/25. Yeah, and he died in 1989. 1999.
Yeah, 3 years after they beat the Patriots.
1999.
85. Yeah, 85. 80.
Speaking of Tony Eason and Steve Grogan was around at that time, but 1986?
Yep, 80. Well, the 85 team, but the actual
85 team.
Yeah, the actual game played was in 86.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the score, like 56-10?
46-10.
It was over by the first quarter.
It was bad. There's a couple of sad stories. Dave Dorison, was on that defense, that 85 defensive team, and he's like the poster child for that CTE.
Right.
Yeah, but
he committed suicide, right? He committed suicide.
Suicide, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a tough one there. He played that team was a team that had Willie Gault and
yeah, they had Willie Gault. But I remember the defense, the 4-6 defense.
Oh, Richard Dent, Carmichael, Singletary, Dorison.
Oh yeah, Wilbur Marshall.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah. Did you say McMichael? Steve McMichael?
Yep, McMichael. Yep. So I mean, they had arguably one. I would say historically one of the best defenses you could ever come in, and it was what's his name? Buddy. What's the coach?
Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan was the defensive coach.
Yeah. So
and Mike Dicker was the head coach, but they were divided over who liked who, or who would deal with who, because the offense like Dicker and the defense like Buddy Ryan.
Yeah. There was both.
Mike Dicker was a beast though back then. Is that McMahon was the quarterback? Was McMahon a quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, McMahon was the quarterback of the team, but Dicker was the coach. Not he wasn't playing. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I know.
Welcome, brother.
Yeah, welcome, Eric. Good to see you.
I was in the middle of running some wire, man. I said, "Oh man, figures at 12 o'clock, I slip up right now."
Yeah. So
listen, we were just keeping it running. We were keeping it warm until you got here.
Yeah, I had to keep. I was keeping your spot warm.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So we got through the birthdays. I think that was the last one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring up, in case you wanted to say something about Terry Glenn. We talked about Terry Glenn because he was a Patriot. Yesterday would have been his birthday. He died in 2017, but yesterday would have been his birthday. Yeah.
Terry Glenn, man, I was able to go see him play one time.
Yeah.
Fast dude.
Yeah. He was arguably our number one target for Drew Bledsoe at that time, because we had Ben Coates, but and again, he's another underrated player. But
Ben Coates, but Ben Coates was a tight end though, so he was just
so
running over him and catching him.
Right. So Terry Glenn was arguably undoubtedly the number one target at that point.
Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly.
The guy had unbelievable balance.
His speed was crazy though. Crazy.
We can't stop talking about him. And, I mean, years later, I mean, those of us who watched him and because and they went to the Super Bowl that year. Those of us who saw Terry Glenn play will never forget it.
Never.
Right.
Never.
Right.
Yeah.
He just stands out. Just stands out. He was like to me, he was like Lynn Swan. He was like a ballerina. He can make everything happen and make it look so easy.
He was our Randy Moss before we got Randy Moss.
Yeah, I mean, he opened up the offense. He clearly, at that point, the team was mostly defense because if you remember, that was, I think on the other side of him was with Troy Brown, but Troy Brown was never what you would call a one, even though I don't want to sound like I'm trivializing his talent.
You're trivializing Troy Brown. So, I won't stand for it.
In comparison to talent wise, Terry Glenn, morphed pretty much everybody at that point. So
yeah. Terry Glenn was like Terry Glenn. Well, like we said, rest in peace, Terry. Thanks for the memories. You're one of those guys that stand out. I mean, you stood out, and hopefully you have an easier life than you had when you were here. The next subject we wanted to talk about was Caitlin Clarke and Angel Reese beating the WNBA All-Star Olympic team.
Well, the All-Star team, not the Olympic team.
They beat the Olympics. They beat the Olympics, didn't they?
Oh, okay. Oh no, I thought you said I played. Yeah. No, listen. Those two. It's interesting about how the Olympics in general is all about politics, right? We always know that. I mean, we go back to Isaiah Thomas being left off because he was told to be left off, but we know he should have been there.
Oh yeah, he should have been there.
Should have been there all day long, but he wasn't, and it's still going on until today when you got some of these players being left off because of politics. And that's all we can leave it at because we don't know what the backdoor conversations are really like or why, or we don't really know why.
Yeah, we do. They're being discriminatory toward Caitlin Clarke and Angel Reese.
Yeah, but we don't. Okay, that's an opinion, right? There's no facts there. At the end of the day, they should have been on the team, right?
Right. Yeah. Obviously, because they beat up on the so-called All-Stars, or so-called Olympic team.
And what I love about this is that rookie race is real. It's real.
It looks like it.
I think Caitlin's got a slight upper hand, in my opinion, but it's a race. It's real.
I got to give it to Angel Reese.
They needed to bring some fire to the WNBA. So all that they did to bring the attention was not by accident. It was not by accident. And they didn't put those two together by accident either. Like Clay always said, you got to put some butts in the seat in order to
put some butts in the seats.
Turn. Right. So in order to make that happen, they have to cause some drama between the two baddest girls in their league, and then turn around and put them together and show how well they play together to try to spice up the whole fire to want to come see. So now they're trying to burn up the fire to want to come see, which will put butts in the seats and turn that revenue.
If that's their intent, they did a good job at it.
Well, you know what? That's a great strategy. I should have thought of it.
Well, you were
because trying
to put Caitlin in the big three. That's why.
I think that, and I was telling Eric this. I think both Angel Reese and Caitlin should just leave the WNBA and go to the big three and let the WNBA sink on their own, since they want to be, whatever they want to be. They think people want to go there because they're purists or some crap. I don't even know what they're thinking of.
What?
But that's what they said. There was a remember that clip we saw when Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp are talking to two women. One of them was an WNBA. She says people come to see us because we have a pure form of basketball. That's why they come. And we talked about it. And we said, you've been losing money for 20 years. Nobody comes to see you. What are you talking about?
Well, I think that woke them up, right?
I think that they're doing a pretty good job of trying to spark interest in the league. They're doing they're trying a lot of different things, but what they need is a lot of sponsorship. So hopefully some of these corporations will decide that they want to get in and start investing in some of these teams, and these players can get paid a little bit more money because the money is out there. It's not so much that the NBA makes it on its own. They make the money on TV deals and endorse, and relationships with these corporations. It's not the revenue that walks through the turnstiles.
Let me ask you a question there. See, because we always get back to this. Is it the product that drives it, or is the market that drives the product? Okay.
Right, right.
Have you ever
Is it
paid any
is
money
it
to go see Brittany Griner? No. Or Diana Taurasi? No. But would you go pay money to see Caitlin Clarke and Angel Reese?
I would.
There's my point.
Yeah, I would.
But it's only because they promoted it the way they have. Now
Yeah.
we're watching.
There's gotten promotion
Now
now.
we're watching.
No. It was like Magic and Bird coming out of the college scene. They were known before they hit the circuit. Okay. And it wasn't just because they were just known, it was because they were good. You
In
got to have a
college,
product to sell.
Right, in college, correct?
Right. But both
Okay.
Magic and Bird coming out of college were known. I mean,
Okay,
and
so-
not just being known, but they were known for being players. So they
Okay,
were
so
coming out.
Coming out of college, Reese and Caitlin are making that fire known now, and now they're going to the WNBA, and now they're bringing attention to the WNBA. Correct? Same strategy, right?
No, same scenario. See,
Okay.
you just can't get somebody and try to make them that person, which is what Marlon and you. Marlon keeps thinking they can just take anybody. Lisa Leslie was there. She was not that great in college, and nobody's going to follow when she gets in. The closest thing that we had to that was that girl who came out of Tennessee, Candace, but she got in there and she just got lost in the mix because there was nobody else. Candace Parker was a legitimate force coming out of college, but once she got into the WNBA, there was nothing else. These two coming out can put butts in the seats because people were attracted to them before they got into the WNBA. They already knew they were good players. We follow good players. We don't follow mediocre players. I don't care if they're men or women. I'm not following somebody that's mediocre. You can get in the WNBA all you want, and they can Gilbert Arenas, and they can push all the stuff you want, and you still would be the same guy, a guy below Michael, other guys in the NBA to me.
I'm following Darryl Dawkins.
Who?
Darryl Dawkins.
I don't know where that came from, but the only pushback I'll give you, Clay, and again, like I said, there can be two rights, but with regards to the WNBA, they are getting a lot of extra ink because of Caitlin Clarke bringing a lot of attention from what she did in college. However, to poo-poo some of the past WNBA players, I just don't think that they didn't try to drum up some attention, because there was some great guys. I mean, there's some great women basketball players. They probably could have been paired as adversaries, but they just didn't do it. I mean,
adversaries to who?
If they would have found someone else that would have been in the league, there could have been opposition to, like you said, Candace Parker. But Diana Taurasi's been a beast. You can't poo-poo what she's been doing. She's been doing it like about 12, 13 years now.
Hey, you remember that guy, Barry Bonds, we were talking about with the bad attitude?
Yeah.
That would be Diana Taurasi.
You could have promoted that.
No, they couldn't promote Barry back then. They tried. Here we go.
But Clay, do they not promote bad behavior now?
Do they what?
Do they not promote bad behavior now?
Well, that depends on what demographic you want this bad behavior to be in.
It will work. It will work.
I don't know what the difference is between bad behavior and bad behavior. I feel like
it depends on the demographic. There's a certain demographic that buys into this bad behavior to the detriment of its population, and that would be, I don't even know if we want to go there, but let it go. Uh, but there are some demographics that don't buy into a player's bad behavior, and they don't see it as something that they should aspire to emulate.
I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying, haven't they used that in the past as promotion?
Well, here we go again. I mean, if we're going to talk about Barry Bonds was bad behavior was just that Barry Bonds was spoiled. He grew up with Bobby Bonds. He grew up, he was a rich kid. Da 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 da. Da. He didn't get along with anybody. I don't know how we promote that. I guess they couldn't figure out a way to promote it because he just didn't want to be bothered with anybody. But we do have people that they promote grimy. They want some guy that's going to listen to rap music, wear the pants down around his butt, and promote everything that's could be negative. And they're going to say,
Let,
well, Snoop Dogg's
let,
going to be an Olympian,
hey,
walking
listen.
around with a torch. A guy who went around for years talking about get high, get drunk, have sex, shoot people.
Let's teeter on that line that we're trying not to go. The culture has crossed over into various demographics now. So the one you don't want to speak on is not the only ones that are really enticed by that behavior right now. I mean, because it's crossed lines, it's crossed over into other places, and I think as a whole, society, we like drama, and I don't think it's just one demographic that that's the one that you look at because it started from a particular culture, like a hip hop culture, but the hip hop culture is spilled over into other areas now. So in general, I think you can promote that type of bad boy attitude and drama stuff and still get away with it now.
Well,
Yeah.
now here we go again. Is Barry Bonds a bad boy attitude?
Well, I think generationally we don't want to blend it because at that point when Barry Bonds was doing it, we weren't in the social media stage.
And it's
But
changed. You really can't compare the two now because back then, no, they didn't accept that. But nowadays, they accept all of that.
Barry Bonds was not a He was. I mean, you could have wore gold ropes and do all that stuff back then. Barry Bonds was just. I don't think he was that. He was that. The guy who gets paid Bobby Bonilla. He, emphasized it. Dwight Gooden, Dal Starbury. Yeah, but Barry Bonds, no. Barry Bonds was not that guy. Um, he just had a bad attitude toward everybody.
now
So they have a ranking. So we don't get too far from the WNBA real quick. They have a ranking. We just list the top five. The top five women basketball players is AJ Wilson of Las Vegas, Brenna Stewart with New York Liberty,
yep,
Alisa Thomas from Connecticut, and Jonquel Jones from New York Liberty, and Jeffisa Collier from Minnesota. Those are the top five, and they're not even bringing any attention to compared to Caitlin and Reese.
right,
They're
right,
not even in the top 10.
Right. Well, according to the WNBA, they're not in the top 10.
Right.
right.
Wow.
And Googlier, I mean, I forget her name, but she's a spark or a lightning rod for attention. But she was left off the Olympic team, and she scores at a solid level.
Her,
I
Caitlin, and Reese.
Yeah, so it's yeah. I think they're doing a good job doing it now, but we'll
They're
see
doing a
whether.
terrible job. They're doing a
Well,
terrible job. The way Eric said is how they should be doing it.
yeah,
I
but
don't
we're
think they
talking
did that. I think they lucked on that by accident. I don't even think that they even thought that. They just did it just to satisfy, I guess, give the Olympic team a tune up, and the Olympic team got smacked.
Yeah, but look what happened in life, man. How many great ideas were accidents? The
I'm
peanut
well,
butter.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they did it, whatever. But the Olympic team got smacked. The age of Wilsons, the 5 or 8 people that he named that are on the Olympic team, they got smacked.
But maybe the WNBA as a whole stumbled upon something with these younger people, and like I said, it may be by accident, but maybe they stumbled onto something.
They're
It's something
not
they
going
can
to do it.
use. It's
They're
something they
not going
can
to do it.
use. We'll see. We'll see.
Asia, I mean, Caitlin Angel and Agun, however that name was, you guys just leave the WNBA, go to the big three, get it crocking there, get it
Hey,
rocking. Work
the big
with Ice Cube. Work with somebody who's an entrepreneur who wants to make this happen and can
hey,
get
they're
it
actually
happen.
coming to
And then we'll just grow
Boston.
it bigger and bigger. And then with NBA, anybody who wants to be some, go play with you guys.
Hey, the big three is coming to Boston.
Now, there's the is it the big three's coming?
Yeah.
They've been there before. That's what it would be.
Yeah. Now, if they
Yeah.
came to Boston, they had Angel Reese and Caitlin Clarke, that place would be sold out. Unbelievable.
I think that they're actually starting to put some games in the Garden. When they play in Connecticut, did they play a WNBA game in Boston?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that. No.
That may be coming because I know they play. They're the Connecticut Sun, right? And they play in Mystic something Connecticut. But yeah, they may play a game in the Garden. They may play one up there.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. How about the Paris Olympics? Let's get talking about the WNBA just ruins my mood.
Hey, listen.
I'm just thinking, they can't do anything right, and they don't want to because they're trying to push an agenda, guys. Let's just say it.
It's not about pushing an agenda. I think they're just simply wanting to.
Guys.
I think
they're trying to push an agenda.
Okay, that's your opinion. You got it.
But listen, sometimes look at the Reese's cup, right? Hey, you got peanut butter in my chocolate, and then now we love it. It was an accident. Here we go. It could happen.
No. Okay.
We're talking about the level of interest in the game. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about the level of interest for the game.
Well, the level of interest is with the heterosexual girls. It seems to be. But the agenda they're pushing is with the homosexual crowd. That's what they're trying to push. It's not sticking. And I can't seem to get any. Since we know done.
Well, that's not even important, though. That's what they do.
It is important. If you're trying to sell tickets and you've been trying to sell tickets to a heterosexual crowd, but what you're pushing is a homosexual agenda,
again, listen. That's not for us to even call out.
Wait.
We just talking about the numbers.
You know what? And you know what? Everyone wants to sound afraid of the truth because it's there. It's what they're trying to push.
It's an opinion. So we can go there, but we don't have to be so hard line that one person's opinion is fact.
I'm not being hard lined. I'm just saying, okay, the Brittany Griners and all the the people that they mentioned, they act like men.
Okay, but so should there be?
Hold on, Marlon. Okay, so we go there. Let's go there. So that's on both sides of the road. You got the NBA doing the same thing. Look at your boy from Miami, wearing ponytails and braids and acting all crazy. And they promote him like crazy. So they're on both sides of the road. Either way we look at it, it's there. Yeah, it's there. It's right in front of us.
They're trying to promote it. Yeah.
But right now we're talking about the promotion of getting more people to go see it. And how that works or doesn't work.
Yeah, well, they're not going to get you.
Okay.
That lasted a good hot second. That's not happening anymore because nobody went for it.
Well, he won't be the last. Guarantee that he won't be the last.
What I'm saying is that they can't push that on the American male population and think they're going to go for it. They already know that. They may have tried it, but they know it's not going to work.
But it's not going to.
They try to push it on as an agenda, but they know they can't push it on as a marketing thing.
It's not going to decrease the numbers for the men either.
No, it's not going to increase.
It's not going to decrease.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't.
Oh, yes, it will. It will decrease. As we talk about this,
it's an opinion.
Do we know the viewership of the NBA has gone down the last 10 years, guys? We do know this, right? We know this. Just like the viewership in the NFL has gone down when they tried the whole woke thing. Now, where the money's coming from is how they're trying to push it. But viewership has gone down.
What you say,
Yes.
Marlon?
I mean, again, like I said, I think it's just a matter of opinion. None of this stuff is really affecting the bottom line. I mean, everybody's trying to do whatever it is that they need to do to market the product that they have, and marketing is become the driving force of the revenue of all of these things, right? Which is affecting the contracts and I think a lot of folks get turned off when you got guys making $700 million for a contract, or you got a guy making or $210 at a contract, and he only plays 50% of the games. I think it's multi pronged. There's a lot of reasons why somebody is interested or disinterested. I don't think it's just one agenda that's really shaking the tree, to where you lose people. I mean, you lose some and you gain some. So
Wait, 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 wait. Wait, but they're not gaining. They're losing. They're losing viewership.
but yet they're spending more money.
I know that. But if we're talking about viewers who want to see the product, it is decreased.
So which one are we talking about? The NBA or WNBA?
Both of them.
Sports in general.
Okay.
I think he's talking about sports in general, because you named two of the biggest sports in this country.
The NFL and the WNBA.
So you must be talking about sports in general, because Major League Baseball has gone down.
Yes, Major League Baseball has gone down too.
And I don't know what agenda is being pushed over there. So
they tried their woke days and their gay pride days, and that turned a lot of people off.
So your position is that when they dip into that pool, that's what decreases interest.
Yeah, because we don't see those people that have that going in that lifestyle. They're not looking towards sports. Sports is not what's on their mind. Sports is a male-driven, fantasy.
You're saying a heterosexual male-driven fantasy,
right? Correct. And because it involves competition. It involves competition and us matching up or seeing if we can do better or try to get better. We look at that as we live through it. So that's a thing. So when they're trying to say this is happening, they're lying to everybody, and the viewership shows it. Now, they won't tell everybody that, but their numbers show it. But still, what we were talking about, the WNBA, of what the agenda was or what they're trying to push, was totally wrong in terms of what men would like to view. Because the majority of people that watch the WNBA is not women.
Could you stretch your imagination enough to think that maybe it's just people being more in they want to include more demographics rather than push a particular agenda?
Of course, they would tell you that, but not when the numbers keep declining. Then you would think that they would want to go get the people that actually watch the sport. They would want to do that. But if WNBA lose money, they don't care, and that's what I'm saying. They're not going to change. They have money or not. They don't care. They're trying to push an agenda, and that's all they care about. If they lose money, they don't care. They've lost money for 20 years.
So 20 years.
But right now it's going to be interesting to see if they continue on that route or change gears. So that will be the deal breaker. And if they continue on what they've been doing, then you're totally correct, Clay. And if they change gears, then they are trying to put some more people in the seat. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm of the belief that they're really trying to gain. They're trying to garner in from everybody. They're trying not to exclude. They're trying to include. And
why are they trying to exclude Clarke and Angel Reese then?
I don't believe they're pushing them.
Okay.
I mean,
ladies and gentlemen, you heard it.
But the WNBA has to be pushing them for them to be there, right?
No. No. If they were pushing them, they put them on the Olympic team.
The Olympic. We just got finished saying there's politics of the Olympics that also went on with that's the Olympic committee that's separate from what we're saying.
No, it's not. It's WNBA. It's the WNBA that chose them.
Well, like I said, we go back to Isaiah Thomas being left off for political reasons. So
Nobody missed Isaiah except for Detroit. Okay, but
No.
everybody in the country wants Clarke and Angel Reese on that team. I mean, we can't do comparisons. I mean, we could. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying,
Isaiah Thomas is a much better player than either of those two put together. I mean, yes,
well, we're not,
we know that.
we're not comparing it. Just because you use something as a point of reference doesn't mean you're comparing. We know good and well that Isaiah Thomas and Caitlin Clarke are not on the same plateau, right? We know that, but we understand it's just been happening so long, you know.
We can't say just because it happened, it should happen. I mean, I'm tired of that refrain too. It happened, so we should do it now. No.
I agree. I think that they should have been on there, but
yes,
I think the WNBA really felt like they should have put the players who should have been getting the credit all along before these two young kids came along. I think that's the politics. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right or whether or not I have a nickel in that dime, but I'm just saying I think that was some of the politics.
Well, if you're talking about they're trying to push the product, that would make sure that they're not trying to push the product because nobody went and saw those other people when they were here, and they don't want to see them now.
Listen, bro. I think that that's a valid point, but the politics.
Hey, we got about 10 minutes left, fellas, and we still got.
I can't believe we talked this long about the freaking NBA.
We got to do what we got to do to recover after a little snafu last weekend. So we having a good show today. Let's go. We got two more topics.
The Paris Olympics. Wait a minute. Does the U.S. have a boxing squad? I haven't heard anything about them.
The what?
Does the U.S. have a boxing squad? Do we still have boxing in the Summer Olympics?
You know what? I don't know. Right now, the only thing they're talking about right now is the basketball team, the track and field. I watched some gymnastics yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know how strong our gymnastic team is.
We do have boxing.
Okay, we have boxing. Okay, we got boxing.
We got boxing.
Let's just say this: they pick and choose which sports they want to put on the main plateau of sports in this country, right? Because boxing right now, they just don't really care, and it may be just maybe because they're trying to cleanse the history of it. I don't know.
I don't know.
But we clearly have enough talent that we can pluck from some of these boxing places, throughout the country that can become dominant. We could dominate if we wanted to. That's not a priority.
Okay.
But
there got to be some boxers. Wait a minute. How come there's no professional boxers representing the Olympics? Because now professionals could represent the Olympics. Maybe they don't get paid enough, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you know what?
They don't want to get hit for free.
That's right.
And a lot of them don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new U.S. gymnastics, I don't know. They have Simone Biles. That's all they need, right?
Well, I was looking at the men's yesterday, and
forget about it.
They look a little shaky. Now, you're right. Simone Biles, she arguably, I would say, in the top 30 of that 100 list for the 2000, the 25. Since 2000, they got 100 athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, what was the guy that's swimming? What was the guy's name?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps on that list. But Simone Biles, I mean, she's right up there.
Yeah,
she's a top 5 for me. Not even a top 10. It's top 5.
Yeah, she's right up there. But she's doing what she had to do. Yeah. And no poo-poo to Gabby Douglas. She was our first one that's like, everybody talked about her hair when she first did her thing 8 years ago. But Simone Biles busted out, and she's Serena type dominant.
Yeah, she's been dominant for, what's it, like 4 or 8 years? Isn't this like the second Olympics? That's 8 years.
Yeah. Dominating.
That's impossible. That's impossible for gymnasts because usually they grow a little bit.
Well, she ain't growing no more.
She ain't growing.
Yeah. I think she's almost like 27 or something like that.
Yeah, she's married, so
Unbelievable.
she'll be having babies soon. So she'll probably be her
Yeah,
last
she
one.
might as well get this over with. Get this over with, Simone. Simone, you have a great life. Simone, you've
We,
been fantastic. We've
we
seen you
got
do some
6 minutes.
things nobody's been doing.
We got 6 minutes. Did you guys hear the comment that Embiid made about the old guys being on the Olympic team?
Uh-uh.
Well, he made a comment basically saying we got a lot of names, but it doesn't necessarily mean it translate into the best players that are
That's
playing on
right.
it. So, in one of the names, he mentioned a lot of names, but of course, our buddy James thought it was insulting that he mentioned LeBron James in that mix, and
Oh
LeBron
gosh.
he hit the big shot against South Sudan. So, you
He
know,
hit a layup. It's a
it,
layup, guys. When did a layup become a big shot?
in the last couple of seconds when you can win or lose, it's a big shot. It's a big shot. No, but
Okay.
I'm not making a big deal of it. South Sudan was a team that just overlooked. You know, they
South
just
Sudan, I know. South
they're,
Sudan. I mean,
they're no threat to anyone. So, but we're talking about the Noah Lyles. He's another one.
yeah, is he going for four gold medals? He's doing the 100, he's doing the 200, he's going to do the 4x4 relay. And maybe it's just going to go for 3. I don't know if he can get 4.
Is it the 4x10 of what one?
Yeah, the
4
4
by
by
4
100
relay.
relay.
Yeah. So, hey, he's that guy.
He's that guy.
He's that guy right now.
He's that
I mean,
guy.
they had some of the races that he ran in the past and what he's done right now. I mean, that guy is a beast.
Yeah.
Any question there? You know, I think when it comes to track and field, we anything more than an 800, we don't really care. We don't want to see the 1600.
We don't care about the miles.
The
You
800
keep that
the 800
marathon
is
thing.
stuff to watch.
You ain't running no darn miles.
Yeah, we don't want to see the steeplechase, or we don't
Yeah,
want
we
to
don't
see.
care about the steeplechase jumping over there and hopping in the water, hopping over hedges.
Yeah,
Who made up that stupid anyway?
well, they also have speed walking. Who did that?
They added speed walking.
Yeah,
I
they
think,
did.
yeah.
Oh,
I
they still
mean,
do?
I don't know if it's on this one, but I mean, who did that? I mean, like I said,
That was pretty funny. You talk about swiveling hips. They should have removed that off the games just for that. If anybody ever saw that speed walking thing, it was like weird.
yeah, especially a grown. I know Clay didn't want to see a bunch of guys walking around speed walking.
You had to see this. You had to see this, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God! You mess
Oh
around
gosh.
and you throw a hip. Mess around and throw a hip. Oh, you went on it.
It looks like they should have threw their hip out of joint. That's how hard they were swinging them hips.
Woo!
It was
Yeah.
bad. It was bad. It shouldn't be allowed. It should be, kids shouldn't be allowed to watch that.
Well, they also have the marathon, and no one wants to watch the marathon in the Olympics. No one cares about that. I don't even know
Nobody
who's
cares.
decathlon anymore. But like I said, anything more than 800, we kind of lose interest. So hopefully they can beef up some interest in these track and field events, triple jump, long jump,
Yeah,
pole vault.
triple jump.
We can look forward to some of those. What's the young lady's name? Sharika Richardson. Is that her name?
Oh gosh, from Jamaica.
She,
Sharika, yeah, she's a 200. She owns the 200. She's
yeah,
powerful.
yeah, she's going to be interesting to watch. So we got some things to look forward to.
Sharika Jackson.
Yeah. So yeah, we got some things to look forward to. I don't think that I think the U.S. is going to dominate in the relays this year.
I think so.
We've always dominated the relays, and with Simone, we've won the gymnastics. So relays, gymnastics, basketball, we should be good in. So the field games is questionable because I don't think anybody's pole jumping too well.
I think we got
shot puts.
I think we got a guy in the long
What's
jump.
going on with the United States and shot puts? Come on, United States. Come on, pick it up.
Yeah.
Those are always the Germans and the Russians.
German guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I pick things up and put them down.
Yeah.
Where you got the government.
We're gonna have to import some German guys and Americanize them.
Yeah.
We got a few more minutes. What about what should the Red Sox do going forward? Pitching, hitting, new management? Not new management. What?
But they
But you
no
remember
no
John Henry Kevin was talking about John Henry not putting
yeah
focus into the team. I mean, they're
Right.
losing 9-8, 9-7. You
yeah
know, uh, you know,
some hit some pitching.
pitching.
Yeah,
And
they
but
need
that goes back to management going out and getting some pitching. They got to get this done.
they
And
let
put
they let they let
runs.
Chris Sale go. You know, so they didn't want to bring him back, but he's doing well down here with the Braves. So
All right, but I mean, how can you tell? Chris Sale came here and blew out his arm, and then when he came back, he looked terrible. What are you supposed to do with this? Okay, maybe they should have kept him, but it would have been
I,
it would have been a bad decision had they done it at that time. A lot of people would have wrote him.
I agree with you. I mean, I just saying and that's just what they were at a point where they had to make a decision. Let some of these new guys come up. So
Yeah,
they listen. I think they'll be fine. They came out of the All-Star break sluggish. It's tough when you got to play the Dodgers off the break. Then they got to play the Yankees. I think the Yankees are coming up the next series. That's a
good,
tough. That's
good.
a
We need somebody to beat up on. Bring the Yankees, but they need pitching. I mean,
they
their
they
pitching is not holding.
But we got the toughest schedule remaining though.
it's a tough schedule. Tough schedule.
Yeah, but we can't let that. You can't let that. Stop you. If you're gonna make your mark, you're gonna make your mark like Sugar Ray. You're gonna make your mark like Babe Ruth. You're gonna go. You're gonna beat the best. If you're gonna be Barry Bonds, they couldn't get a ball. I don't care who the pitcher was at that time. They couldn't get a ball through Barry Bonds when he was
It's
rolling like
prime.
that. So
Prime.
you,
Yeah.
you know this is how you make your name. All they have to do is get a little bit of pitching and they're hitters. These guys can combine for runs. They're only losing by 1 or 2 runs, and it's in the high. It's in the over 5. They're always scoring over 5 runs.
Yeah. So they're hitting well. They just need to get that pitching
Yeah.
right. Good.
Yeah, guys, I got to get back to my other job. I got to
Me
get
as well. Me as well.
All right.
donuts.
Well, you know what? See, you guys don't know this, but I found out how to do the music.
Wow. Good stuff.
So
Yeah, if I hear it, I know it's there.
All right. We see you all on Saturday morning, 9 a.m., 9 to 10 on Saturday at WEZE 590.
come for the fun.
We'll see what we got for y'all on Saturday. Appreciate y'all listening.
We're gonna have more. Whatever you heard here today, there's gonna be more of.
I don't know. I don't know whether or not that's a good, bad, but you got to tune in to see where it goes.
Nobody discusses stuff like we do. I'm just telling you. You know it. You got 3 old guys, and we're not afraid to speak our minds.
Well, guys, everybody be blessed. I got to run.
All right, guys. Me too.
Love you. Take care, Marlon. Take care, man. Go get back to your wives, Eric.